Welcome to the demo of the Smile Survey 2023-2024 Dashboard Snapshots page. This is one video in a series of videos focusing on how you can gain more insights and use the Smile Survey dashboard features. The Smile Survey dashboard is accessible on Tableau Public or on the dedicated Smile Survey website. For the last 30 years, the Washington State Department of Health has routinely monitored the oral health of children using the assessment known as the Smile Survey. And this dashboard presents results from the 2023-2024 survey, with some comparisons to the previous survey period. Let's dive into the snapshot views, which we'll navigate to by clicking on the snapshot button across the upper navigation. By default, we'll land on the state-level snapshot view to start. Here, we have all of our different counties in view. Here on the drop-down menu, if we'd like to select one of our accountable communities of health, we can do so by choosing that from a drop-down list. And you'll see the numbers across the bar charts and on the map and the line charts below change. Let's take a walk through the dashboard and talk about what these different components share with us. Across the top are different key performance indicators or key metrics from the survey on decay experience, treatment needs, and preventing decay. These are always going to be at the statewide level, as indicated by the statewide indicator and text in the title. For example, you'll see these change only when we change the level of aggregation by grade. Here, for example, changing to only second graders instead of third graders may go ahead and change some of the numbers. Down below, you'll see additional information breaking out the different results by county within the choice ACH. You'll see a reference line that shows the overall value for Washington State, matching the number that's above 62%. And we can see which different counties were above or below that value. As we read across, we can see that same pattern mirrored for each of our different metrics, with an overall state change indicated in the text above. Down below, we can see a map that shows us the results by county for the county that we filtered down to. Here, for example, we can choose decay experience, and we'll see that the metrics on the county view change. If we want to see these in more depth, though, and be able to see a diverging color palette that lets us see who is above or below the state average, we can actually click on the button at the bottom to see more maps. Clicking on the Washington State map view allows us to open up and view maps across 4 key indicators: decay experience, untreated decay, dental sealants, and rampant decay, all in a single panel. On each of these maps, you'll see a map that displays information about the overall performance of that metric across various different counties. For all of our metrics around decay, where a higher number is poorer performance, we have used a diverging color palette where you can see that the counties with higher decay experience have darker red coloring, and those that have lower decay experience have bright green coloring. As you look at these maps and dot plots paired together, you're able to see the data geographically, as well as be able to look at the overall distribution of the different values by county. Looking across these different dot plots, you can see where those values cluster for various different metrics, with more dispersion, for example, on dental sealants, where the range of values across counties is a lot larger. To navigate off of the map view and go back to the main view on the snapshot, just simply click the X button there. You'll also see the option that you can click on a pop-up to view the metric definitions in case you're unfamiliar with what these different metrics mean. Simply clicking on this metrics button again will collapse that panel and take you back to the map. The last view on the state snapshot view is the slope chart in the lower right-hand corner. This allows us to see changes between the most recent 2 survey periods for untreated decay and dental sealants, which remain comparable across the 2 periods. Select indicators from this survey are not comparable because of a change in assessment methodology. Now you'll see that for our different comparisons between 2015 and 2024, that we have different insights and comparisons for second grade as well as for third grade. In some places, the data was not combined for second and third grade together in the 2015 and 2016 survey. So you may see those trends disappear. If you see that happen, go ahead and take a look at those individual measures for second and third grade separately, and you'll see the trend lines come back. Like many of our other charts, you can hover over and see additional information by hovering over the top of each of the individual dots to see more details. Let's go ahead and click on the county view, looking at our second snapshot. Here, we can select one county of interest, for example, King County, which will be reflected in the title up at the top. We also can filter to different grade levels. Here we can read across the top and see what the overall metrics were for decay, treatment, and sealants in our green, orange, and blue color palette. Below each of the different numbers, which reads out which population we're focusing on, you can also see a small bar that shows what the overall decay experience was for the county compared to the state, which is the gray bar in the back. As we move down the page, you'll see these population snapshots at the bottom with a short description on the left-hand side that tells you what the county population snapshot is meant to do. These allow us to view data by different subgroups. The goal is to allow you to create custom cards that give you key information, either for one specific demographic breakout or multiple. For example, here, we have 3 different panels showing race and ethnicity. 2 of them match those, so let's customize this panel to show different information. Perhaps instead of looking at data across our populations of Black, Hispanic, and Black students, we could change this to add multiracial students into the mix. When we do this, we'll see data change in both the top key performance boxes with the large numbers and in the chart below with a label at the top that shows us that now we're looking at data for multiracial students. If instead you go ahead and want to change the data to look at data for a different kind of demographic breakout, for example, looking at data by household income, when we select that box, you'll see that now there's a mismatch between the household income and the options available, which is why we see some blank cells return. When we select low income from the group, we'll see the data populate for low income students with the key indicators across the top for 72 and 41% for our key metrics of decay experience and dental sealants. And then you'll see the same dot plot with a confidence interval showing the comparison between the 2 different groups available in that demographic category. At the bottom, you'll also see additional bar charts that coordinate with the bar charts we'll talk more about in the comparisons view, where dots are an indicator of statistically significant findings. If you want to set up additional cards across other different breakouts, you simply select different view results by panels and then select which group you want. You will see that when you're using the same breakout, for example here, 2 panels on race and ethnicity, that the dot plots do match because of the fact that they are the same data, meant to allow you to make quick comparisons of how one category compares against others. This concludes our overview of the snapshot pages, which consist of both our state level page that allows you to view data at the state level or by accountable community of health and those different county groupings, and then diving down into the single county view. We hope you'll join us for additional videos and dive into the SMILE survey findings so that you can help communicate this data to your different audiences.